Hello. Wave at me. Look at me. Hey, we're gonna get started. Hi, Daniel. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for coming to Birmingham AI's marketing breakout. It's really great to see everyone. We have a really great program today. This is the clicker. Aha. Real quick, I want to thank our sponsors, Kesis and Link. These are our title sponsors for the month, the quarter, sorry. We love them, please support them. Kesis has a table out in the lobby and the help desk, so just stop by and talk to them. I also want to thank a new sponsor of ours, the UAB Collat School of Business, and then a whole host. Oh man, really? There we go. Wow, we should have tried this. What? Why? I just pressed a button. Okay. UAB Collat School of Business. We're really excited to have them on board. We also would like to, just real quick, our mission is to accelerate the adoption of artificial intelligence in Birmingham for all so that AI becomes a net job creator for Birmingham. And that is the mission of Birmingham AI and the marketing team. Just real quick, I want to highlight this from the UAB Collat School of Business. They are having a business summit on April 10th. This is a really cool event. This is one I'm excited about. There's a lot of breakouts, different tracks. There is a marketing and growth track, so I will be attending that. Austin, our founder, will be there, as well as Shagan from Harmony Venture Labs and a whole host of other people. So you can get your tickets at the QR code up there. We also posted it on Birmingham AI's LinkedIn page. I'm going to go through just some news real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to Scott. There has been like a lot of things going on in the past 6 weeks with AI, and I feel like I felt like that 6 weeks ago, and I feel like I'm going to feel like that in the next 6 weeks. Like, it's just like the acceleration has been insane. There's a lot we can talk about. I thought about talking about Anthropic's Super Bowl commercials, because it's just like, as a marketer, like, don't you wish that you could dunk on your competitor like that and not get in trouble? Like, if only. I talked to my boss, he said no. But I do want to just talk briefly about two things in marketing AI news that came out. First of all, Google has AI Mode. I just accidentally tried this the other day, but basically you can just like search AI, or when you search something, the AI pops up. It's not the AI overview. But what they're offering now is direct offers and shopping ads are living inside that AI mode. So users can check out without leaving the conversation. So everything is happening, like from discovery to decision making to purchasing, in the AI, which is crazy. But Etsy and Wayfair are live. Walmart's coming on next. It's just like a new way that we might see our shopping ads might turn into like direct purchases within the conversation. So interesting. The second thing that I want to talk about, and Scott's going to talk about this heavily, is Claude Code. Claude Code recently announced connectors for Google Drive, Gmail, DocuSign, Slack, and a bunch of others. The plugin marketplace is insane, and it's really exciting. If you are using Claude Code, you know how exciting this is. It just like has optimized my entire stack. So definitely check it out. I'm going to turn it over to Scott now. He's going to talk about Claude Code and give us a demo so you can see it live.
Instead of costume changes, we do microphone changes around here. Welcome to Birmingham AI. Now, I have to start with a little bit of a confession. Now, I've met a lot of you in this room before, but I used to be terrified of telling people that I used AI. I remember when GPT came out, and like I remember hiding it on my browser so that no one knew I was using it. Just the ability to pump out work at that scale just blew my mind. Like entire client portfolios weren't getting done in 2 or 3 days. That would normally take a month to do. But the problem with it was crap. Like it was not good content. It was very bad, very generic. It just did not really lead anywhere. And I felt it. I felt like there was a friction point, that something was wrong. And then everyone else started to get on board. And everybody's content started to look the same. We could all tell that we were pushing it out so fast because, especially if you're in an agency, you got a big client book you got to work with. And if you're on your own as a freelance, you definitely have a big book if you want to keep your house open. So when I stopped using AI like a content vending machine, and I started to build a system. And what the tool that I'm going to show you is honestly can build you a system underneath your workflow that will completely change how you work day to day. I know that sounds ridiculous and grandiose and verbose, but it's crazy. Now, I want to take a minute and I want everybody to kind of look around the room. I want you to see the people that are here, okay? Every single one of you has chosen to be here today. All right, you could have been getting more work done. You could have been at Taco Mama, all right? I love some chorizo. But you all chose to be here with us in this room together because we all know that we have to figure this out. And we have to figure this out together because only together can we really get a handle on this. Can we grow through learning, through trying, and failing all together. There's a good chance this demo could fail today. But that's just the way AI goes. Now, it can do a lot of things, but it cannot, and I want you to hear me when I say this. I know I say this every time, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but the one thing that AI cannot replace is you, Mike. It cannot replace you, Ben. It cannot replace the people in this room. It cannot replace that human connection that you have with your clients, with your team, with your coworkers, okay? If anything, it needs to enhance that connection because we take everything else, all the stuff we don't want to do, off the board. Okay? Sorry, I didn't get to open up with my motivational speech, so I got to stick it in the middle now. So, AI is coming to take your jobs, okay? Everybody's heard this. You fall asleep thinking this at night, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's not. It's not coming for your jobs. You know what it's coming for? Your tasks. The things that you don't want to do, the things that are eating up your time, that you just stare at your MacBook and just dread doing, that is what we're getting rid of. That is what is getting taken away. Now, Scott, what do I do? All my tasks are gone. My task list is dead. I got to prove to my manager I'm doing something. This is where we are now. We are at the rebirth of strategy. We have the time to sit together to look at what we are doing, to really plan out our campaigns, to put thought and effort into the work that we are doing to make sure it's driving the results that we need for our clients, for our personal brand, for our company, whatever vertical you are falling in. Now you get to be strategic. Now you get to take time away from staring at your computer monitor, unless you're remote in your own teams, I get it. And look at the people that are around you and maintain that client connection. We talk about that a lot over in the sales breakout, about keeping that client connection, keeping that customer connection, because that is how you really get to know the brand that you're working with and be able to make that brand succeed and keep them on your book. Now, raise your hand if you used ChatGPT or Claude, you typed in, tried to get some content, and it just came out bland. Like the first shot, it was just, you could tell that it did not know what you were doing, all right? Now, that's just the way it's been for so long. And that's the standard that we've almost come to expect from these machines. But what we're gonna do today is gonna take about 5 minutes to do, and it's never gonna happen again. What you're gonna come out of this room with is a system that is going to make your content sing. Make your brand sing. Make everything coherent, everything consistent, everything converting to what you need it to be. And that comes from plugins, okay? So, about a year ago, I came in and taught a seminar on fine-tuning for the engineering breakout back when we were at Hardware Park. And I created this restaurant called the Pirate Forge. And I fine-tuned a model to be a chatbot for that restaurant, to answer questions on the website, to give menu items, ask happy hour, all that stuff. That took about 2 weeks. required multiple data sets, multiple hours of copying, pasting code back and forth because I can't even spell Python. And it consumed so much time. But now, we're gonna do that, the same thing that I did in 5 minutes. It took me 2 weeks, we're gonna do it in 5 minutes, okay? So this is the brand, this was the fake brand that I made up. You see I put a lot of character into it. It's, we've got a whole lot of pirate-themed messaging on board. Yes, it's a little gimmicky, I know, but we need an extreme for the engineers people, okay? So, you see, and it had an entire set of its own speaking. Like, you don't have customers, you have crewmates. You don't have money, you have doubloons. Everything sounds in gimmicky pirate voice, okay? Again, we needed an extreme to show the difference between a regular chatbot and a pirate chatbot. So this was, my bad, wrong button, bloop. So this was the brand brief that I put together when I made this project the first time. And we've all seen these. We've all had these things come in from our clients when you get off that discovery call or get off that first introduction call after the AE's turned it over to you and you fill out your brand template. Okay, so this is kind of an easy one that I put together. So obviously we never need to break dialect. We never need to break dialect. We need to use, I put vegan restaurants in here because I care about the people. So we have crew, not customers. Everything's warm, but it's a little silly. So this is the process that we're going to walk through. Okay. We're going to, is every other slide behind? There we go. So this is the process we're going to walk through. We're going to start with code work. I'm going to show you how to install the plugin. We're going to put the brand identity in here. We're going to run a couple of slash commands. Then we're going to get off brand output. Now, I know we got slash commands in here. Scott, you said there was no code. This is it. Honestly, you don't have to do this. You can still use natural language, but I wanted to show the full breadth of what we were doing. So Anthropic builds the system, and you make it yours. Now, let me show you how it works. This is the part where we go live and hope it all works. Is everybody dreading it so far? Yes. So, allow me to introduce a screen that won't go away. Okay. This is Claude Code work. Looks a lot like regular Claude, right? You got your basic chat interface right here, okay? There's not really any coding. You see we got the three options up top. We got chat, code work, and code. Now, I know code can be a little intimidating. We're not doing that today. We're just doing code work. As you can see, we've got a couple of customizations right here. Now, I haven't done anything to this, okay? This is all just the base out-of-the-box product right here that we're looking at. Now, the first thing you have to do is put a folder for it to work in. It obviously, when you download it, it's gonna put its own folder on there, but it has its own filing system that you can keep up with all your stuff in it. Now, if you're at an agency, you got a bunch of clients, obviously you give each client their own folder, which makes the next part a lot easier. Now, I have created a whole folder just for this presentation already. I cheated because I don't trust it to work. So let's get into our customization options right here. So the two main things that we're working with are skills, plugins. Plugins are essentially just skills and connectors and MCPs all in one box. So you don't have to do everything, you don't have to run everything, it all runs together when the plugin activates. Now, as you see, we have our options right here to add tools, skills, and plugins. So we're going to go with our plugins. Now, these are the Anthropic out-of-the-box ones. Some people are thinking maybe, this prompt injection is a thing now. If you download things off GitHub, some websites, if you're scraping it with an AI, it will scrape a malicious piece of code or a malicious prompt from the website, and all your stuff is gone. All your money is gone. That doesn't happen here because these are straight from Anthropic. They keep all this source code on their stuff, on their servers, okay? This is not public, this is not open source, this is them. It's safe, in theory. So you see we have a whole bunch right here. Now we're not going to use this brand voice one because again, I want to stay on Anthropic's. And we're going to go down here to marketing, and we're just going to install it. And that's it. Ta-da, demo over. No, I'm just kidding. So we got our marketing plugin right here. We have our list of slash commands right here. You see it also has the regular plain text, so you don't actually have to use the slash command if you don't want to. You just ask it to do the general things just like you've been doing with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever. And then we have our skills right here. Again, these are the fine-tuning for your plugin, for your model, essentially. And it keeps everything on your brand voice, your content creation. It will keep these within your brand. And these are super easy to edit. It's edited. Now, you can customize it with natural language if you want to, or you can actually open the folder and it takes you right here. See, brand voice, skill.md. Okay, so this is a markdown file. Now, raise your hand if you know what a markdown file is. Okay, about half the room. So a markdown file is, again, it's not code. There's nothing like that. Okay, it's literally just a text document. It's just a text document built in a way that AI is really good at reading. So I'm going to pull these up here. Now, mine is in cursor right now, technically, but if you don't have cursor, it's open in Notepad, same thing. So this is our brand voice skill right here. It's just got a whole bunch of open parentheses. Everything is general. There's nothing in it, okay? So if you want to customize this, then you can either have Claude customize it for you, ask it to do it. Now, I've already done that, so I have a brand voice one right here. So you would just literally copy this document and paste it in here. Then you hit save, and ta-da, you have your brand voice all lined up in here. And then this will change to fit that. See, this is what a markdown, see, it's got a code picture, but this is what markdown looks like. Does anybody, raise your hand if you see code in there. That's not a Twitter hashtag, Daniel. All right, I'm sorry, X, the everything app. So that is done now. Let's go back to our main page. So I told you we had to work out of a folder for every client. So I went ahead and pre-made this folder here for the Pirate Forge. Now, in this folder, we have our brand documents right here. Now, the thing that really sets this piece of technology apart from just like a custom GPT or a gem or a Claude project is that the amount of information you put into it is how good the information is going to come out. Now again, these are all just markdown files. So whatever paperwork your client fills out with your agency, whatever like documents they have on hand, previous campaigns, websites, all you have to do is just save it as a markdown file. Whatever format it's in, you can probably save it as a markdown file and put it in here. And that's going to solve all your brand problems right there. It's way more consistent than just uploading it to a custom GPT, because I feel like 75% of the time that might get it right. A lot of times it doesn't. So as you see, we've got all of our things in here. Now we have a CLAUDE.md. Again, that's just a generic instructions about your company. You need to have one of these really in every folder too. When you start, just tell Claude, write me a CLAUDE.md for this project. Now, I've gone through and already made all the different plugins customized to this agency, because when we customize a plugin, you really have two different options. You can either customize the plugin and then save it as a custom plugin, or you do like this with the project files and you save the files in here, then the plugin will pull these files. So you're not having a whole bunch of plugins sitting around. And if you're pulling stuff off of a community drive in your office, in your agency, then anybody can come in here and pull this. They don't have to worry about trying to share the plugin or move anything around like that, because enterprise is still a little slow on that. Everybody in your company can just pick that folder for that client and they can do all the work. Yes?
If you add a lot of content in your folder, does that eat up the tokens really fast?
No.
No?
No. So that was a good question. He asked if we put a bunch of files in there, does it kill our context window? Which is another problem that we've had. The context window is how much you can put into an LLM before it really starts to hallucinate, when it falls apart. We're now up to like 1 million tokens, so that's kind of hard to hit anyway. But when you do a skill, when you do a plugin, it doesn't pull the information until you need it. It checks the plugin to see if the information's there, which consumes very little tokens, and then it will pull the information out that it needs to consume the minimal amount of tokens. Does that make sense for everybody? I was trying not to get super technical, but I thought somebody might ask. So again, here we are at the Pirate Forge. So we're going to start right here. Let's make 4 Instagram posts about our secret menu. So if you looked in the client brief, I had the secret menu up there. It's a menu that's not listed on the website. It's not listed on the regular paper menu. You have to ask about it when you get in there, because I like to make things complicated for myself when I do live demos. So we hit let's go. Now look, oh my God, this is the coolest part. Claude Code doesn't do this. This freaks me out. So you see right here, it's got on the side, it's pulling the instructions from your Claude.md. It's got your progress right here. I'm going fast so it doesn't beat me. And then it's going to have the context window, the things that it's referencing as it goes along. Okay, so you can keep track of what it's actually pulling in as it does it. All right, this is my auctioneer voice. So watch right here. This is the real-time updating. All right, it's pulled a brand voice, got the to-do list, and now it's creating. Sometimes it will ask you follow-up questions if it's unsure about what's happening, but I've done a pretty good brand profile on this because I didn't want to waste time pushing more buttons. So we'll give it a couple of seconds while it's creating. It can go a little bit slow sometimes when you're doing very specific kind of work. But the great thing about that is you can do it and leave it alone. You can go do something else. You can go get lunch and come back and it'll be done. Okay? I'm going to show you how it does like a real long-term project here in a minute. Boom. So it pulls up the brand check right here. These are the things that we don't want. Secret menu right there. 1 CTA per post. Did anybody see me type any of this? I put in 1 sentence and it's pulling all this up with very minimal context eaten. And there it is, right there. So here's my Instagram posts. So if we click right here, look at that. So we've got, I'm going to scroll all the way through the thing. So here's the Instagram post. We've got kind of a tease post right in the beginning. Again, we wrote these like the client normally likes their content or what's been proven to work in the content. Okay. Then we got social proof right in here, things, reviews that people have said. Oh my God, a Kraken emoji. That's cool. And then we have kind of a dare, daring people to come in and eat the secret menu. We got a FOMO. And look, here's all these agency notes right here. Everything that's supposed to be in the brand. So you don't have to go back and reference it. It's sitting right here with the content. There's no other window, there's no other file, okay? All the information is there for everyone on your team, everyone in your agency, everyone. If it's just you by yourself, you don't have to open another window. It's there, everyone can see it. So, is everybody's mind blown so far? For the record, you don't have to have cursor. I just want to put that out there. I just accidentally installed it and I'm too lazy to get rid of it. All right. So that was fun. So now I'm going to set 2 kind of short-term tasks here. So you can also schedule tasks to happen on their own. So if you need to do like a big brand review of a client, if you've just gotten something in, you can schedule tasks. Or every morning you want competitor reports, you want daily things about like what's on your calendar to be sitting on your desk when you walk in that morning. We can schedule tasks like that. So I want to schedule a / competitive brief for similar. I can't spell restaurants, leave me alone. Don't come for me.
That's what Google's for.
In Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, and then, so we're gonna hit let's go. And it's gonna give it a second to process it. And then in a minute, it's gonna ask you what time you want it for. So we want this one time. I just want a one-time task right here. And then, in just a second, it's going to ask me what time I want, and I'm going to set it for like 2 minutes from now. So move on to the next part of the, let's go to schedule. There you go, now it's running. And now we got a scheduled task going, so in a few minutes it's going to come back with a complete analysis of other restaurants in Birmingham, Alabama that are similar to this restaurant. All right, now we're going to, I promise I'm going to get Q&A in just a minute, okay? I'm going to start one very long, like long form project, a very long run project, and we're just going to let it run in the background while we do Q&A. And it's probably going to freak you out because it freaks me out. So, now I've again cheated, and I'm so sorry. But I've gone ahead and made the prompt on this for this event. So this is going to be a draft content, 2 weeks worth of social media content to promote a St. Patrick's Day event at the Pirate Forge. And it's going to have so it's going to be leading up to the event, then we're going to have a big St. Patty's Day party, then we're going to have a post-St. Patty's Day brunch, because we all need that post-St. Patty's Day brunch. I'm not going to include any brand notes or anything, but I do have 2 custom menus in here. A custom St. Patty's Day weekend menu and a custom St. Patty's Day recovery brunch. Okay? So, these are not regular menu items. This is special just for this event. So, there's no previous context. there's nothing in here that's going to tell them that this is actually part of our menu. So we come in right here, and we're just going to hit let's go. And we're just going to let this bad boy go. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of Q&A while this is running. Again, the great part about this is you don't have to do anything. It might ask me a question, pop up here in a minute, but once it starts running, you don't have to touch anything unless you want to watch it work. And you can go back and just do other things. You can sit in meetings. You can schedule a bunch of work to be done while you're sitting in meetings. It's all going to be done by the time you get back, okay? So good, look, see, it's pulling the files already. Okay, so now, I apologize, let's get to Q&A. Does anybody have any questions so far? Is anybody's head underwater yet? Ben?
This happened really early.
Wait.
Oh, I'm an idiot, we have microphones, we're adults.
This happened really early and I got lost. You said CLAUDE.md?
Yes.
Ask Claude to create CLAUDE.md. Can you go a little bit more?
Yes, so literally you just pull up your Claude window. You can do it in Cowork if you want, or you can just do it in the regular Claude chat. And just tell it to create a Claude.md file for my agency. And then you put whatever your information is, what verticals you serve, where you are you local, do you have clients all over the place? And then it will pull in all your information. Let me show you the one that I made for this demo. So on this demo, the Claude.md that I made is over here. So the Pirates Ford's digital marketing agency, full service digital marketing agency. You see, this is just company information, okay? It's asking it to go ahead and read all these files first. Again, it's just your company information. That's all it is. Who you are, what you do, that's the markdown file. So that it can reference all those things. And as we can see, we've gone over here, we've started touching other things, and we're still going. Still going. Yes. I'm sorry, you don't have a name tag on. What's your name? Yes. Laura, yes ma'am. What can I do for you, Laura?
So sort of a follow-on on this question. So
Yes.
if I've built all these projects for individual clients in the regular chat, do I need to then make a folder and pull a CLAUDE.md for each client so that there's now a folder in Cowork for each one?
You can put just a generic Claude.md in that Cowork folder, like the main Cowork folder, and it will pull from there. I like putting one in each folder because that way it just makes it references it a lot quicker. You can also put things in like your tech stack, and it will, when you're creating that folder too, you can tell it to duplicate the Claude.md when you're creating a new client folder. So you can go from like 0 to 100 in that first part. But that's just your company information, what your tech stack is. So when it's going through and pulling these things, it knows what tools you have what tools you have on hand, what your workload is, just really any information about your company that is important to what you're doing every day can go in there.
Sorry, follow-up.
That's okay.
And there's no top secret way to connect to the projects that I've already built to Cowork yet?
Projects in Claude Code?
Yeah, no, the projects that I've
Or I'm sorry,
chat.
in Chat GPT. In Chat GPT, in Claude. Yes, okay. So it can actually do that as well. It can come in here, that's a good question, I wasn't prepared for that, thank you. So we can come in here and we can add projects. And then these are all the connectors. This is the software that you can plug into it so it can reach automatically if it's not part of the plugin itself. Then here's again, more plugins. These are all the ones that I have in there. You can develop your own plugins for custom things, your custom skill creators. The custom skill creator skill from Claude is great. Whenever you need to create a skill or a markdown file to go into a skill, that's like your next level here. Okay, I'm trying to keep it relatively easy and not put a bunch of stuff on you at one point, but this is like level 2, is to use skill creators and the plugin developer. All right, who's next? Let's take a vibe check of where we are. Yes?
AEO and SEO, is that already integrated?
Which one?
The AEO, the SEO to the content that's showing up?
Okay, so you're asking, is the content that I'm creating right now optimized for AEO? I do not know if it is automatically optimized for AEO. Now again, that's something that I would put in the instructions. When you're asking it to do it, I'd put it in the Claude.md file if you're worried about if SEO is like a big part of your marketing business. But if you're doing like mostly email marketing, things like that, obviously you don't need a lot of SEO. But when you're working on those things, yes, try to keep that in the Claude in the Claude.md file or put it in the instructions.
Does Claude have that in its silo of apps or skills?
An AEO skill?
Yeah.
I think they have one. I don't know. I have to go back and check. But you can also make your own. So like the custom GPT that we gave you guys a few months ago about AEO, then you could take that and just ask it to turn it into a skill. And Claude will take it all, put it into a markdown, and you've got that skill saved in your thing, and it will automatically optimize for AEO. So it's not embedded, but it's very easy to embed. I know embed's probably a little more technical of a word than we want to use, but it's easy to get in there. Yes.
If I can just, to crystallize what he's saying, AI does not need you to be organized, but it needs you to be complete. So in this case, what you're asking, would you include AEO or your SEO or whatever in your instructions? However you include it, it should do it. And if you want to do it more, have a little bit more conversation with it after you get back what you have.
Yes, and so and then one more thing on the Claude.md file. I know this is a lot. I didn't really want to get into a whole lot of Claude.md stuff because it gets a little technical. But you can. That's where you also tell it how to communicate with you. I make mine fight with me because I don't like it to be agreeable. I just tell it to fight with me. I am a Maxwell disk type D. You got to argue with me, okay? Or I'm going to assume I'm right, as you can tell by the everything about me. Any other questions before we move on to this next part? Okay, so we have completed our 2-week content calendar. Again, you see we've got just the information right here. Here are the files that it pulled from. Here's the context. This is the skills that it pulled from. These are all the things in our markdown file. It's got all the information right here. Again, it's in our files that we're asking for it, and here we go. So you can view it in a markdown file is there as well. So let's scroll back up here. And it's got the actual breakdown of all the words. We're not going to read all that. See, it's got the dates right too. The first time I did this with the prompt, it actually had the dates wrong, and it corrected me. It said, your dates are wrong. The day after St. Patty's Day is not March 13th. I said, excuse me? I wasn't looking at my calendar. And then you see the custom menu is right there. 1 day only. It's a little heavy on the hashtags. And it even has visual directions for however, if you want to stage things in the restaurant, if you want to feed that into an image generator. I wouldn't for this because this is obviously a restaurant with real food. I would use the real food. That's just me because I'm a hospitality marketer in the old days. And then it's got right here, it's what they are. Okay, we got carousels, we got reels, we got feed posts. It actually didn't do that last time. That's cool. So here's all the different content breakdown. Here's all the voice. We didn't do anything. I walked around and vamped and did all this. So let's go back up here to our schedule post up here where we did the content. We did the brand research. Didn't run. I want to run it again. Okay. Okay, so this is the one. I ran this one this morning. So this is a full brand context that ran the thing. So here are 6 Birmingham restaurants. They're similar to what we're looking at. Culinary Dropout, The Finnick, Fairway, House of Found Objects, Saws. Those seem like gastropubs to me. Those seem like direct competition. Staying up late. I obviously got better food than they do. I've actually never been to Culinary Dropout. If any of my friends from The Finnick are here, I didn't mean that, I'm sorry. So it's got a unique position. It's very lore driven. It's got a very, very heavy backstory about the whole history of Birmingham. The pirate was in Birmingham. Loyalty programs, all this. Competitive brief can come every morning to your desk. Have all your calendars sent to your desk. What appointments do I have today? What tasks did I do yesterday? What's rolling over? What's due today? Schedule it. Run it. Administrative. Done. I know this is very content creation heavy, I'm sorry, but this is what a lot of us have been looking for in AI. I know it's the first thing a lot of us look at. But you can take these basic principles and put them on any workflow you have, and it will kill all the administrative work. All you have to do is come back and check it. And if it's way off base, fix these. Then this is where your problem is. If you've got a hardcore hallucination coming in, it's not your prompt, it's this. The prompting almost is out of the equation at this point because everything comes through these. So, Claude Code produces amazing work, but it requires a little bit more setup than the other models. Okay. All right, does anybody have any other, let's do a little more Q&A. Let's see, I think we've got a lot of our stuff done. We're getting ready to switch in just a minute. So we're gonna stop mirroring, and then we're gonna go back over here. Somebody can just shout out a question while I'm poodling.
Raise your hand.
Can you feed creating content to Claude and say, okay, this is kind of what I want? It's almost like an MD, but it's an image. Images?
Yes, you can upload any kind of images into the client folder, not the MD file, into the client folder. If they have work that they have that they like their logos, like you see all that stuff that I had in the Pirate Forge up there. Oh, I switched things. Oh no, it kicked me off. So you can upload any kind of graphics or art or anything into that folder, and it will keep it, and it will pull from there, which helps a lot too if you're using image generation tools, because it will use that as the foundation, the things that you've already put in there as what it pulls from for the art and the visual cues and all those things. So since we've got this back now, I'll show you, we've got logos in here in our folder. So in our client project folder right here, I've got logos, the website, the brand mockup, and it'll pull from there. Give you the baseline. Okay, what other questions do we have from our friends? Shout it out, please. I can't see you. Yes, Ben.
You talk a little bit about this is so easy and it's great, but balancing quality content and slop.
Yes, so again, if it is coming out as slop, it's the markdown files. The markdown files keep it from becoming slop. And the best way to really edit the markdown file, again, is just have the conversation with the model. Tell it what's wrong. You know, you're still using people, and you're still using customers instead of crew members. Okay, it might not have gotten that in the markdown file. That might have missed it in the brand voice. Okay, if things are coming out and the photos don't look right, go back to the Photo.md and say, use the images provided first. So, and then the brand, and when it goes through and does like the brand draft of everything, or the brand review, make sure that you have the brand standards and they're good, that they're detailed. All you have to do is build that document one time, put it in a markdown file, put it in there. Now, it is, again, this is not like an eternal system, okay? As things are going, as we're continually testing things, then go and update your markdown files. When you have some posts that are performing well, if FOMO posts aren't really working for your client, then go in the markdown file, tell it to quit doing those. Okay? If you have landing pages that are certain landing pages are working well, tell it, give it that information, and it will update the messaging to fit that kind of landing page. So it's very customizable, but very simple to customize, because all you have to do is just have a conversation with it, and it will customize itself. It will fine-tune itself without any code. Yes?
Say conversation, so I should know the answer to this. You should be able to, physically have a conversation with it.
Yes.
In other words, rather than type.
Yes, you can also, if you download something like Whisper or another voice interface tool, then you can use that as well. I have Whisper on my laptop, and so I will talk into that. That's a different discussion, but yes, you can put a voice to text tool on your on your laptop, onto your MacBook, and it will pull all the, you can have that literal natural conversation with the model. Yes. Did you hijack my computer?
Yeah. I'll answer some of these questions.
All right, so, yes.
So if you go into Claude, and you open code for work and set up the project folder, and you add all these assets to give it context, and you say, okay, create a CLAUDE.md file. How is it that creating that file? Like, do you find that you have to iterate a lot, or is it good at inferring like what those parameters should be for this unique project? It doesn't have any other context other than what you give it.
Yeah, so it's pretty good at picking up on those details, and a lot of times it will ask you follow-up questions. And I know there's more plugins. There's a plugin that's literally a Claude.md developer that's from Anthropic So you can just ask it to develop it, and it will, without doing any kind of slash command, without clicking anything, without loading anything, just say, help me make a Claude.md file about my company, and that plugin will automatically pull everything that it needs for you, and it will create it for you. I know that I'm throwing a lot of information at you, and I'm very sorry about that, but I don't think, I have not conveyed this well, I can tell. The tool, this tool has the tools inside of it already to answer most of your problems, to solve. I know this is insane, okay? I feel like a crazy person up here saying this.
I mean, you are, but that's beside the point.
That's fair. It's all the chicken wings. So one more question that I don't think anybody's gonna ask, but can Microsoft's new Copilot co-work project do this? I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. I'll figure it out. They just launched it like this week. I'm not entirely sure exactly what it does. It's based on this same system, so it may be able to be similar if you're very cognizant of enterprise grade security and you want to stick to your Microsoft products. But if you also get a Claude enterprise account, then it's supposed to have enterprise level security as well. We always got to have the security conversation. Okay, so Daniel's pulled up his whisper flow right here, and he's going to show you kind of how that works.
I'm going to show you a lot. Here, let me pop up there.
Take your computer.
All right, so my part of today's demo is not that I want you guys to really kind of understand what I do. Thank you. It's not that I want you to understand what I'm doing, okay? And I will do my best to explain it as quickly and concisely as I can, but as Scott has illustrated, this is a new way of working, and it is not intuitive to you yet. If you guys were here last month, one of the things I said was the doing is not the work, the thinking is the work. We are so tied to doing in our culture that devoiding ourselves of that doing and focusing on the thinking is extremely difficult and extremely hard. And that's part of what Scott was illustrating, okay? So while Scott was showing Claude Cowork was actually built by Claude Code. Now, as anybody who has been in Claude Code and is not the most technically savvy person in the world will tell you, it is very intimidating. Why is it intimidating? Well, if you look right here, will you disconnect your computer? If you look right here, this right here is a CLI, command line interface. Okay? Oh, actually, hang on. Nope, not Quick Whisper. If I don't record my computer, the video guys are going to kill me.
You know I don't hear you.
Huh?
You know I don't hear you.
I know. There we go. All right, cool. All right. And then if I pop back here, sorry guys. No, mouse needs to go the other way. There we go. There we go. All right, so the tool that I'm going to show you is Claude Code. Claude Code can be very intimidating because it looks like a CLI, a command line interface. But you guys have been training for Claude Code your entire AI career. I'm not kidding. Because what you've been doing is you've been going through the web interface for ChatGPT or Claude.ai or Gemini or whatever. And you've learned to talk to it. So one of the things you need to take from that and apply to Claude Code is to talk to it. Just like it's another human being. I know it's crazy. It's not another human being. But LLMs and AI are the closest thing we have come to as a society to building a second brain, a neural network that operates so vast, so largely that we still don't understand how it makes its predictions yet. But it makes them extremely well. So what I want to do is I'm going to demonstrate some of my workflow, some of the things that I do on a daily basis, just so that you guys have some perspective. Again, I'll do my best to explain, and if we want to talk afterwards, I'll talk afterwards more technical, but I'm going to try and keep this very basic. So I have 3 examples, 3 demos to kind of show you guys, okay? We're probably not going to get through all of them, but we're going to try and get through at least 2 of them, okay? So the first one is a competitive teardown, okay? What I've done is I've gone ahead and logged in to Claude Code, and I am currently working with my chief of staff agent. Anybody Babylon 5 fans in here? Anyone? Okay. His name is Lennier. It's a character from Babylon 5. I encourage you to characterize these people, or these agents. It's great. But because of the work that I've done, the cognitive architecture that I've built inside of Claude Code, I'm able to do some crazy things. What Scott just showed you guys in Claude Cowork is a version of a cognitive architecture. It is how we think about how we work and creating those systems to help us work more efficiently, okay? So this is a demonstration of that. Now, my chief of staff agent, Claude, knows me, knows how I like to work, knows a lot about me. I've been working with him for at least a month, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and to preemptively answer your question, the tool that I'm gonna use is called Whisper Flow. Highly recommend it, but that's a personal recommendation, not a Birmingham AI recommendation. There are plenty of dictation softwares out there. All right, so all that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, let me show you what AI can do for marketers in 3 minutes. Somebody shout out the name of a business in Birmingham. Maybe one of your competitors.
Levy's.
Sorry, what?
Levy's.
Levy's? So Levy's Fine Jewelers? Okay, cool. So tell me about Levy's. Find their website. Identify gaps in their website marketing. Draft a better version of the homepage. Give me 3 email subject lines that would be good for their market. And yeah, let's start there. So what did I just do here? I was complete. Did that sound organized at all? If you answer yes, you're lying. I love you. So now what it's doing is it's puzzling. One of the fun things that they put in Claude Code is that every single time you work on something, it gives you a different verb. So in this case, it's puzzling through things. So right now, what it's doing is it's going out to the web on its own. It's finding information about Levy's. It's going to look at their website. It's going to look at some of their presence out there. It's going to determine what their ICP is. And here, in a couple of moments, it's going to pull back that competitive research that I just asked for. You can see right here, it's actually going to Yelp to see if it can find stuff. It's already found the website. It did a web search for Levy's Fine Jewelry, Birmingham, Alabama. And it will continue to run through this. Now, you're going to see this stuff, and it's going to seem very intimidating. It is not, I promise you. Boom, and here we go. So, scroll back up here. All right, so Levy's Fine Jewelry gives us a little bio of what it is, when it's open. 5 marketing gaps in their website right now. No email capture anywhere. Headline says nothing. No clear value proposition above the fold. No appointment booking. No urgency or scarcity, okay? Now, a lot of these things are tied to direct response marketing, which is more of the marketing that I practice, but your mileage may vary. So, suggestions for a better homepage. Headline, subhead, primary CTA, book a private showing. Man, That sounds like it's going to speak really well to their ICPs. You can also see a trust bar adding in some GIA certified, family owned since 1922. All of these are great things. Well, I'm also an email marketer, so I want 3 subject lines. This 1940s Art Deco ring just came in and it won't last. Scarcity play. Also something that will appeal to that audience, that ICP right there. By the way, we did this live. That is how reliable I feel about what I've built inside of my Claude code. Sorry, lost words. Okay? Simple, easy, and does exactly what I tell it to. Okay? Let's do one more example.
But it got all of that just from those 3 sources.
It got all of that, and it may not have, we saw those 3 sources. I've noticed that sometimes it'll pull context from other things because of the source and everything like that. But for right now, yeah, this is what it did when it just went out and did a first pass. I could have it go and say, hey, this is great, iterate it on it this way. And again, all that I'm doing is I'm being complete. Okay? I'm not being organized about it. I'm just talking to it. This is kind of the way, and I think Scott would agree, but I don't want to speak for him, that working is going to look like moving forward. We're going to do less doing and more thinking. The thinking is the work. Primary example, how many people have to deal with YouTube clips? Anybody? Anybody? Really? Okay. No, we got some people. So if you're trying to like build your business on YouTube and that, you know that you've got tools like Arbor and Descript and things like that where like it has, you can grab 30, 45 second clips and then you have to take them to YouTube, but you have to upload. Well, hang on a second. Let me just show you what I'm talking about and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to come down here. Hey Lennier, I have a folder in my downloads for Birmingham AI demo videos. I'd like you to use Playwright and go to the Birmingham AI YouTube channel and upload those shorts there. Make sure to talk to Studio to get them optimized for YouTube. Go ahead and schedule them out 3 weeks in advance. And let me know if there's something else I should be doing. I may have forgotten something. So I was complete. I was not organized. I even forgot, like I know there's something I may want to do. I can't remember what that is. Okay? So what is it doing right now? It's working through that process. Oh, now it's working through that process, sorry. There's a thing where you've got to approve because of some privacy stuff, like just be okay with that. Oh, there's another one. I'm sure there'll be another one here in a second. But what I'm also going to do oh my gosh.
This is why we do it live.
Do it live! Do it live! So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to show you guys Chrome over here. And so what you'll start to see is that here in just a second, Lennier, my chief of staff, is going to take over my Chrome instance. There's an MCP, which basically anytime you hear MCP, think of it like API. It's just glue. It's a connector. That's all that it does. Hey, hang on. The Birmingham AI marketing demo, and I'm on stage right now and you're kind of embarrassing me, so like, just do it. I'm just saying, stop asking me questions, just do it. That is actually something when you're in Claude Code, it can do oftentimes more than what it's telling you it can. And it'll say, hey, you should do this. And you'll be like, well, why can't you do it? Like literally, just ask it, why can't you do it? I think that's an inherent piece of Claude, and like it's trying to empower you as a user and things like that, but yeah, stop doing, start thinking. And if you notice, oh, come on, seriously? On it, no more questions. See? And here's the other thing. I've been working with Lennier so long that like he's got personality. Like he has picked up on some of these things that I value. Okay? Now, I have put extensive work into Lennier and my cognitive architecture. Oh, really? I said to use Chrome. Sorry. Yeah, it does that because I am crazy. By the way, like I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to this stuff. So like no one is expecting you guys to go out and do this today, tomorrow, anything like that. We just wanted to give you something a little bit more aspirational as well as you are going through these things because it is so new, because the frontier is so wide out there. We don't want you guys to be scared of these things, okay? So now it's pontificating, thinking about those things. Yeah, go ahead.
So it shows you the number of tokens it's using as it trucks along.
It does, it does. And believe it or not, like even the 800 tokens it just used, not a lot of tokens. Well, comparatively, I'm on the $200 plan and I've maxed the $200 plan out twice in the last 2 weeks. So I'm an outlier. I promise you, I'm an outlier. So this is going to continue to run in the background, but hopefully at least this has kind of shown you guys, you guys need to be reaching, okay? These tools are new, they're scary. Sometimes they feel complicated because you're like dealing with Claude.md files and things like that. Ask the AI, it'll help you. But like really what we want to make sure that we're doing is empowering you. So we've got just a couple more minutes. I'm going to invite Scott and Laura up here. What questions do you guys have? For any of us. For marketing in general as well. Yes, sir.
So what are some of the things that you didn't think you'd be able to do or kind of blew your mind or like since you're being aspirational? Like, and so last it's like you said, I'm just going to push it and see what it does.
Yeah, so he asked, what are some of the things that I wasn't sure I would be able to do, but I can do now? Really? All right, we're gonna cut my demo. Don't worry about mine here. But I promise it works.
And like all the stuff we just talked about with Claude Code work, essentially this is what it looks like under the hood.
Literally.
You just don't have to look at it. So you're just driving the Mustang, you don't have to look at the engine every time you drive it. This is what's happening.
So to finish answering Robert's question, what are some of the things that I wasn't sure I'd be able to do, but I pushed it and to be able to do? I have created an entire workflow, start to finish, of when I meet with someone. I'll record so that I have all of the context. It records into voice memos. When I get back to my computer, I'll sit down in front of Claude or Lennier and I'll say, hey, let's digest this call. It knows now on my computer to go to voice memos on my Mac, pull that down. It knows it has to transfer file formats, pull it into a format that I can transcribe, moves over to Quick Whisper, does the transcription because I like using the ChatGPT model to do the transcription, takes those files, puts everything into learnings, and says, okay, review all of this. Once it reviews it, it goes immediately, creates a client folder, and we start working through action items. I either send immediately a warm, hey, thanks for your meeting email, or I can wait to send a longer email after I have sat down with myself and my other agents to work through the thinking work that needs to be done with that client or with that networking person or with whatever. And then from there, it crafts out any additional work that needs to be done, starts to schedule it, drafts the big email, and typically I'll send a big email the next day, and we'll take that and go put it in my drafts in Gmail. The only reason it doesn't schedule it out for the next morning is because that doesn't work inside of Google's MCP yet. That entire workflow, I built in 2 or 3 hours tops. And I have battle tested it through at least 10 meetings. And that is just a natural part of my workflow now. Trying to do all of those individual pieces beforehand, I was pulling my hair out, and you can tell I don't have any more hair left. But now, it just happens. Scott has a couple other things. Scott, go for it.
We're going to wrap up with a couple of housekeeping notes real quick. I promise I'll go fast. So here is the QR code for all of our Birmingham AI upcoming events. We have 12 breakouts now, ranging from business, data, education, law, security, whatever it was we just did in here, in addition to the general meetup. So if you want to register for any more events, that's just our Eventbrite page. That's our Eventbriteosaurus. So 2026 is already here. Are you ready to start shifting? Are you ready to take it? Now, we're literally taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Everything that we've done today can be done with a conversation with a robot. So this is our feedback survey for how we did today. How much we get paid is based on how good these survey responses are. If they are bad, we get nothing. If they are good, we also get nothing. But
we also like a volume of entry, so please make sure you're pulling your phone out right now.
We'll also send follow-up emails, again, with all this information. Everything will be in there. So we want to make sure we disseminate all this information. We're not gatekeeping. We want to make sure that everyone is empowered in this room today. Yes. We want to thank all of you so much for coming. We want to thank the amazing Mr. Daniel Walters. We want to thank the even more amazing Miss Laura Flowers today.
Thanks, Scott, very much, sir.
Here are our sponsors again. Thank you to our sponsors, Birmingham AI, for coming. All right. Also in the emails, you're going to get a link to our State of AI and Marketing in Birmingham survey. Please fill that out, and next month we're going to premiere that so you can see where everybody else is, so you can talk about how far ahead you are because you came today.
Please share that with your marketing friends here in Birmingham as well. This is really important research that we're trying to bring to you guys.
But thank you for coming, and everyone have a nice day. We'll be here if you have more questions at the end. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys.